Attaway rolls right, looks downfield. Caught! Nenadowicz in the end zone.
3 for a touchdown. That's number 5, Owen Nenadowicz.
5th touchdown of this half for the Hawks. And they'll try the 2-point conversion. Attaway. Complete 2-point conversion to Nolan Yates.
Number 12, Nolan Yates.
And the onside kick. Covered up by Josh Vieira.
Covered by number 13, Josh Vieira.
And that is going to put the lid on the Hawks' Super Bowl hopes this season, as they've taken this season all the way to the state semifinal. But they're going to fall short. But the Hawks' playoff run ends here.
Second place is meaningless. You can't always be first, but you have to believe that you should have been, that you were never beaten, that time just ran out on you.
Every year you look at your seniors and you try and play for them, and JJ was literally my best friend. We did everything together that year. And I just remember that final snap, and they recovered that onside kick, and I just looked at JJ and I just broke down in tears. Like, it felt like I let him down. It felt like I let my teammates down.
Just left a bad taste in the whole team's mouth. They just, they weren't happy with the end results. They knew they were a team capable of being at Gillette that season. So basically the message was, like, what are you guys going to do about it?
Immediately after, kids were in the weight room. Whatever we needed to do to get back to that position.
The game is in trouble, I've been in my depth for the piece of the puzzle, I got it for real. Still keep me going, I wake up and hustle, you won't see me buckle, I've been in the field. Man of the town, you been in your fields, I'm adjusting this crown. Call me your majesty, either that or your tragedy, we shutting everything down. I've been hot like somebody put a candle on them. Off top, I don't really stand opponents, this mine, the moment is run out and start a bunch of pandemonium. More game, I got some, the skill is bar one, y'all done, the game in the coffin. Referee screen, rest in peace, and think twice if you next to me, it's West. This ain't no regular thing, I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean, this for my city, yeah, this for my team. If you talking, it's hard to be nice, I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion. Whoa, let me switch the flow, a new bounce. Coming to the den with a lion, I'm gon' pounce. Know I've been a king for a while, got a ring and a crown, that's the bling with the blow. What the team is about, champions. You can tell by the ambience of this sound. Referee screen, rest in peace, and think twice if you never see me, just no doubt. This ain't no regular thing, I came for the ring, you know what I mean. If you talking, it's hard to be nice, I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right. This ain't no regular thing, I came for the ring, you know what I mean. I shoot my shot and it's clean.
It's time to flip the switch. You will fight somebody else.
I play with all of my life. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
Flip the switch just means like a difference from like pre-practice and practice to game time. So like game time, like it's just a whole nother level.
Nothing else matters other than this game right now, what we're about to start.
It's just you and your teammates. Every single thing in your body is focused on winning this game and doing your assignments and getting to where you need to be.
Flip the switch for me meant like, this is it. I had 13 games to play this year, and who knows what's going to happen after this, but flip the switch was just like, it's time to turn it on, it's time to go, it's time to make this town proud and do what I can to make everyone proud around me.
Returning off the heels of a run to the Division VI Final Four in 2023, sky-high expectations surrounded the 2024 Hudson Hawks football squad. Fueling those expectations was an experienced roster comprised of a core of 23 seniors that have been growing on the field together since grade school.
In fourth grade, everybody was on the same team because they weren't split up anymore. And then all the way up until now, we've been on the same team.
You know, it's special. Like, you always talk about, like, a family bond and a team bond, and it's like, I literally grew up with these kids. They know everything that I've done in my life. They know what I will do in my life, and that's what pushed us so far, because we believed in each other and we have faith in each other.
Through the off season, like, we're always with each other. We're always working out with each other, whether it's at the gym or the field, doing running routes and stuff.
It was super important for this season, especially like the captains and the older guys, like teaching the younger guys like what to do and always holding them accountable.
You're together throughout your youth days. You build that chemistry. You know, you face adversity together when you're young, but you learn to overcome it with each other. So I think having that family bond that they've had all throughout those years really paid off going into high school.
Powered by this senior class, winning football returned to a program that had been struggling for years.
Yeah, so I think a lot of high school teams, especially smaller divisions, you see that wave of success and then a couple down years. So it's certainly exciting when teams start to get back on that winning track. Coach Mack, in his last 2 years there, we were starting to get back on that winning track. So he kind of built a little momentum before he stepped aside, and then I just kind of took it from there.
They had taken it on the chin for 6-7 years in a row, and Thanksgiving was, the game was over. 4 or 5 years in a row, the game was done by the end of the second quarter, by halftime. So, it's been good that they've been competitive, and you could tell, you could watch the team progress. They're a special team. This 2024 team is definitely a special team.
Head coach Zach Attaway brings some experience to the table as well. He was once Hudson's quarterback himself.
Still, Attaway rolls right. He's got Brendan Knight.
And he has some familiarity with this team's quarterback.
On the football field, he's a coach and he treats everyone the same, and he sometimes maybe be harder on me because, he knows he can do that to me. And it's definitely helped me as a player. He's made me a 10 times better player because the confidence he gives me, the trust that he has in me to make plays.
If there's any extra talk of football at the house, sometimes my wife will say, all right, we're home now. But she understands it. We're watching film together. We're watching Alabama on Saturdays. That's our thing. When we're on the field, it's coach, and we're off the field, it's dad. But to watch what he's accomplished, some of the milestones he has hit, it's been pretty special to be a part of it.
For senior captain Jake Attaway, whose talent on the football field meant he's had a lot of doors open for him, there was nowhere else he'd rather call home for his senior season.
I think early on it was more of a question what I wanted to do for my future. But after staying after my freshman year and seeing what we did as a team my sophomore year, I feel like after that it wasn't a question on what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be with these guys, especially with the bond I created with everyone. I just felt like there's no way I could leave them.
With the team set and ready to play, it was time to kick off the season.
Attaway looks to the left, into the end zone, touchdown, caught, Savion Newton-Clark has got a man open, it's Igualo, and the ball is loose, Giorgio knocked it away, and the Hawks recover, and the gift left side, nice inside block by Donato, which gives News the room, down the sidelines, touchdown, Hudson. Attaway, straight back, goes on the feed, caught, and touchdown, Hudson. And Schmidt with time, throws a duck, Nolan Yates intercepts it at the goal line. Attaway, flush to the right, stays alive off the sidelines, and makes it into the end zone. Comes to the near side, pass was tipped, picked off. Attaway with time, looks downfield, got a clock, Touchdown! 52 yards. Attaway looks downfield, still looks downfield, tucks it, takes off, he's got some room. Across midfield, shakes one tackler, he's at the 40. And finally cut down. Edie in motion. And Attaway toward the goal lines, wait for the signal, and touchdown. Attaway flanked to the right by Muse. Quickly on a slant, Savion Newton-Clark, touchdown, Hawks. Sullivan takes the handoff. Looks downfield, Nolan Yates, picked off at the 40. And Muse as well, tossed to Giorgio, cuts it inside. And touchdown, Hawks. To the backfield. Now Attaway's gonna follow Giorgio. Big block by Giorgio. And Attaway's on the move. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Hawks. Attaway looks middle. Oh, beautiful pass at Savion Newton-Clark. Attaway goes downfield looking for Clark. What a catch at the 39-yard line. Kid's electric, I'll tell you what.
Here we go. There it is.
He's got Clark down in the end zone. Throw is short. And he adjusts and make the catch. Three to the left side. Little bubble screen for Yates. Picks his way through for the touchdown. Attaway fields the punt at the 43. He's back over the other side of the field. He's got room. Touchdown, Attaway. Punt return, 6 points. Giorgio, Edie empties out the backfield. Downtown for Yates. Complete. Makes the cut inside. Touchdown, Hawks. He's going to follow Edie. Cuts it outside. One man to beat. Touchdown, Hawks. Attaway left side, cuts it out. Puts it in another gear. Touchdown, Hawks. Attaway back. Escapes straight through the pocket, still on his feet. First down and more, gets to the 10. Touchdown, Hawks. Attaway flanked to the right by Treson Muse. Looks downfield, complete. Savion Newton-Clark for 15. Roy looks for pitch to the right, and he's going to be sacked. Toby Edie. And it looked like the Hawks got the handoff. Number 80, Damian Shaves.
I would put it under 7.
Yeah, and we know it hasn't been many. And Muse, shifty at the line, kicks it outside and wins the race to the corner for the Hudson touchdown. Intercepted by Yates. Yates got it at the 28. It back out. Long down the field from Attaway. Oh, and it's complete. Savion. Fake handoff to Giorgio. And he's going to look back to him. Catches it at the 10. Touchdown, Garrett Giorgio. Taylor tried to get away. It was Nate Andre. Back up the ladder in the pocket, hits to the end zone for Yates. Touchdown! We're waiting for the official signal, 36 yards. Attaway straight back, got time. Downfield, hits Muse in stride. Touchdown! Borders takes the handoff, chased out by Nenadowicz, and Nenadowicz gets the sack. Out of the backfield. Complete to Yates. 90 yards. And the Borders pass. Knocked down. And Damian Shaves holds on. Touchdown Hawks.
Each week we talk about going 1-0. It's not about being 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. It's be 1-0 this week. You can set these goals. It's not always going to happen, but it was becoming a reality for us where like that possibility of the undefeated season was there. And I think that kept that motivation, that drive. Those guys didn't want to drop a game.
Years of sustained success manifested itself into a perfect regular season, reinvigorating and re-energizing the newly packed stands inside the Morgan Bowl.
Watching the crowds increase the last couple of years because they had diminished, to a point where even the students weren't coming out in numbers, and now the students there, they have their theme nights, and watching John Giorgio come down the front of the stands every week at the start of the fourth quarter, and just the little things like that just kind of stick with you.
Finishing 8-0, the Hawks ended atop the MIAA Division 6 power rankings. With the playoff bracket set, their first matchup would be against the 16th seed East Bridgewater Vikings.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to historic Morgan Bowl as the Hawks kick off their playoff season tonight. It's the MIAA Division 6 round of 16. And the number 1 seed, the Hudson Hawks, are hosting the number 16 seed Vikings of East Bridgewater.
People knew we were the team to beat, and every team was going to give us their best.
We knew it wasn't going to be light. We knew it was going to be teams that wanted it as much as us.
Attaway starts to follow. Giorgio stops, looks downfield for Nenadowicz. And Attaway in standing up behind Muse and Giorgio, and the Hawks out to the early 6-0 lead. Ball's off the snap and driven back by Damian Shaves. Attaway time to throw, surveys the field, tucks it, and heads upfield across the 10, into the corner, touchdown, Attaway. Throw again to Yates. Touchdown! 40 yards. Attaway to Yates. And they give to Muse. Big hole. Straight up the middle. Touchdown!
First round we kind of breezed by, but like 1 versus 16, you'd expect that. And then we went and played Sandwich in my last game in the bowl, and it was insane.
Going into Sandwich, we knew they were a competitive team.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Morgan Bowl for tonight's matchup for the MIAA Division 6 round of 8. The number 1 seed Hudson Hawks host the number 8 seed, the Blue Knights of Sandwich High School.
The quarterfinals began with a slow first quarter where neither team threatened to score. But after Hudson's first drive resulted in a turnover on downs, Sandwich turned around and did something that hadn't been done to the Hawks all season.
McElroy takes the pitch. He's going to throw. Touchdown. Damian King on the receiving end as McElroy took the toss on the left side.
It was definitely a punch in the face. We had never seen any teams that were even close to being as good as us. Just the physicality in the playoffs and how intense the games were.
We were expecting a tough game, and it came down to the wire.
With a renewed sense of urgency spurred on by the visitors' efforts, the Hawks returned to form.
Straight back. Hits Muse on the screen. And Muse downfield. Attaway. It's out to the right. Downfield. Completed it. Attaway still on his feet. Inside the 10. Stir the lone receiver to the right side. 3 to the left. And the throw out of the backfield for Edie. Touchdown, Hawks.
After forcing Sandwich to punt, the Hawks would tack on 2 more unanswered scores. A 42-yard strike from Attaway to Junior Cooper Stir in the second quarter, and a 10-yard find over the middle to Owen Nenardowicz in the third put the Hawks up 21-7. Sandwich would answer with a late third quarter drive, culminating in a red zone scamper by QB Adam Ferreira. With their lead cut down to just a score, the Hawks wasted no time in crafting a pointed response.
Follow Muse around the right side, got some room. First down and more, breaks a tackle to the 25. Looking for some room at the 20 and takes it down across the 15 to the 14-yard line. And Attaway. Spins off a tackle. Touchdown! 11 yards for Attaway.
But these are the playoffs, and teams weren't going to roll over. Sandwich marched down the field and scored on this contested catch in the corner of the end zone. Hudson tried to run out the clock, but facing a 4th and 4, punted with 3 minutes left that resulted in a touchback. Here, with only a few minutes remaining and 80 yards to go, it was Hudson's defense that answered the call.
Ferreira kicks it out to the right, and he's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line. Ferreira takes from behind, forced to get rid of it. Damian Shaves, huge night. And Shaves makes the huge play on 4th down. And the Hawks take over. 1:59 to go on the clock.
Damian Shaves, yeah, he's incredible. He's a big kid, strong kid. He's got an incredible football IQ.
That's a play that he made because he's an amazing player. He's an amazing kid. He does everything for us. He plays offense, defense, and you just see him. You see him smack that ball at a kid's hand. You're like, holy cow, we're gonna win a game. We're gonna go Final Four again. It was insane.
This is the Division 6 football state semifinal between the number 1 seed Hudson Hawks and the number 4 seed Norwell Clippers.
Returning to the same field where they fell short last year, the Hawks began this semifinal game with a forced fumble and a recovery. A pass interference against Garrett Giorgio set them up with great field position, where once again they struck first.
Off to the left. The give to Muse. Touchdown, Hawks!
Touchdown, Hawks!
6 yards.
The Hawks defense forced a 4th and 8 and got the turnover on downs. On offense, they marched down and with a QB sneak, took a 2-score lead. The Clippers tried to respond before halftime, but Tyrese Muse had other plans.
Mucciarelli puts it up top. Intercepted at the 2. They were going to spot that at the 1. Let's go! Tyrese Muse.
Regrouping during the intermission, Norwell scratched their first points on the board in a cagey third quarter. The teams traded blows in the 4th, leaving Hudson's offense, for the 2nd round in a row, in possession of a 7-point edge deep in the final frame. And on this occasion, powered by the push of a stout offensive line, the Hawks wore down both the Clippers and the clock to emerge victors.
Going to be victory formation here for the Hawks. We get close to 50 seconds to go. The Hawks will improve to 11-0 on the season and have earned themselves a trip to compete for the Division 6 state championship at Gillette Stadium coming up after Thanksgiving. This was the spot that the Hawks ended their run toward the state championship last year, falling to Fairhaven, and they're going to get another chance to face Fairhaven again at Gillette Stadium for the Division 6 title.
With the win, the Hawks punched their ticket to Gillette, setting up a showdown with the team that knocked them out last year.
So last year we definitely had a tough time with that Fairhaven triple option. So we made it a point this year. We really had to focus on it. It's also a responsibility football game where everyone has assignments. They have to stick with their assignments. There's no guessing game because that's why they call it the triple option, right? You don't give them one option, they take another. So our guys bought into that.
When we were practicing, we were having a different strategy. This time, we normally never look at the quarterback, but now that game we did. If I knew the QB was going to take it outside, step up and don't let the wide receiver block you because you know you're going to have to take the first hit.
Our scout offense was unbelievable the week leading up to. The energy was crazy during practices.
We called in Coach Matt Gaffney. It definitely brought a lot of energy to the practice. He's just a perfectionist. Like, he knows their playbook in and out. A bunch of people stepped up. We had James Buckley playing running back, which was a new thing for him. He was killing it, taking hits, just like doing anything for the team to succeed.
So we put one of our linemen, big lineman, he ran fast, James Buckley at running back, and he would just hit that hole hard and he would run through you no matter what it was. Everything that happened in the game, they did perfectly. So it was just like I've seen it before, and I was able to make the reads and make the plays because they did such a good job preparing us.
But not everyone was able to practice in full that week.
Lucciarelli, quarterback draw, still on his feet. Brought down at the 2 by Giorgio. He's going to be slow to get up.
Lucciarelli is all the way down to the 2-yard line.
Garrett Giorgio looks to be a little banged up on that play. So it looks like Giorgio is going to be sidelined, which probably isn't a good sign. A lot of guys coming over to console him. You know, he's the heart and soul of that defense, senior leader.
A week before the game, I had a doctor's appointment, and he told me it wasn't looking too good. I had a new scheduled appointment on Tuesday right before the game, and the one doctor I saw, he told me he doesn't think I can play. And he said it was too loose compared to the other knee. I went instantly and I started looking for the sideline doctor's address for his office. And eventually I got cleared. I ended up missing the whole practice. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to get cleared and then go to practice. But I made it back for the senior speeches in the mini theater, and it was all hype. Everyone started clapping when I walked in. It was really awesome. I took a lot of tears. Going into the game, I kind of just had that in the back of my head that, like, what happens if it just goes horrible? Until I heard the sideline doctor say to me, he was just like, go out there and play. He was like, just play. So I just cleared my mind, and the only thing in my mind was win this football game, and that was it.
With the team prepared, the day finally arrived, and it was time to head to Gillette Stadium.
Until we got there, I was pretty calm, but once I saw the stadium, it was just like, it was insane. Just being in such a big place, all the huge bright lights, and just being so loud, it was crazy.
A bunch of us like pulled out our phones and like started recording the stadium. I mean, I've been there like multiple times for like Patriots games, but it's a different feeling when you're putting on the pads and you're playing on that turf.
It was so sick. Everyone had their cameras out the second they got off the bus, taking pictures, just soaking it all in.
We weren't going there to be fans, we were going there to play, and it was just something special.
The second we stepped off that bus, we knew we had to lock in. Like, it was not recording the stadium anymore. We got off that bus, listened to music, and staying locked in. After that, that was when Coach says, like, flip the switch.
We get off the bus, and walking through that tunnel was just like one of the craziest things. And we got to warm up in the tunnel. The energy was unmatched. Like, that was the craziest energy we've had pregame ever.
And kids were just screaming, coming up and down, running around. They didn't know what they were doing, really. I think there was more of a warm-up just running around than the actual stretches we were doing.
I don't even know how to describe it. It was crazy. Like especially the captains were just getting so loud and so like hyped up. We were like banging on the walls and stuff. Like everybody was just so ready for the game.
That's the loudest the team has ever been.
We were thinking about that last year's game, how we have them and like we're finally here, and it took a year of hard work and preparation, but we got there, and that's why the energy was crazy.
Covered up by Josh Vieira.
Covered by number 13, Josh Vieira.
They've been a team we watched the whole season, and we were really hoping we could get that rematch.
All 20 of us seniors, we put the work in the offseason. Every single time we thought about that game, it motivated us and finally brought us to where we were.
I just remember sitting in that locker room before the game and being like, this is for everything that we lost last year, and this is for the brothers that I've been playing with since I was 7.
Roy Gow kicked off the 2024 MIAA Division 6 Super Bowl and the Hawks' long-awaited rematch with Fairhaven. It didn't take long for Fairhaven's offense to remind Hudson who the defending champions were, as 3 straight first downs put the Blue Devils in Hawks territory. But Hudson's defense strung together stops, forcing a 4th and 2, where sophomore linebacker Toby Eady made the first big play of the game to force the turnover on downs.
Getting that first stop, it was a big confidence boost, it was a big ego booster, honestly. Like, we could stop this kid. Like, I remember going up to the coin toss and going up to like my linebackers, and I'm like, we're gonna be the first team to stop this kid. And that's what we did that first drive.
The energy after that was insane, and being the one to get that like 4th down stop, it was pretty special.
It certainly built some confidence in the defense and the team, so I think it was unbelievable that happened, and from there on out I felt like there was no doubts.
It was time for Hudson's offense to take the field for the first time, led by league MVP Jake Attaway. This offense set records all season for every category you could think of. To kick off the Super Bowl, however, it took just 4 plays to force the Hawks to punt.
We have been pretty successful on our first drive all season, so to get stopped on that first drive, it can be concerning, but we just got to keep cool heads, and that's what we did. We told the guys we'll be fine.
We knew we could move the ball. I mean, we got first down on that first drive, and then we just got an unfortunate drop.
We just came out a little flat in the beginning, and we needed to fix that.
Fairhaven went right back to work on offense, with their bruising running back Justin Marks ripping off a 20-yard run to get into Hawks territory. After a 6-minute-long drive, Fairhaven found itself with a 4th and goal on Hudson's 3. Undeterred by their previous 4th down setback, the Blue Devils kept the offense on the field with eyes on opening the scoring.
Another 4th down play in the red zone. Burke with some room and puts the inside move on Owen and Arowich and goes in for the score from 4 yards out.
The receiver was running a high drag. He ran past Ben Jackson, and I went to go pick that up because I saw Ben was on the left side from the quarterback's view. So it was one-on-one with Owen and that quarterback, and I was confident Owen had him, but he just made a really awkward cut.
He obviously made a good move on me. I'm not going to deny that. He made a good move getting the end zone. But I just remember everyone was like, flush it, get rid of it, get it out of your head. And we didn't make any adjustments because we knew what we had to do. It was just a good play by that kid.
We knew we could stop them, but it was just that like don't give up mentality. Like we knew we had it if we just fought back.
Same thing happened to us against Sandwich in the quarterfinals. They scored first, and it was kind of, who's going to respond now? What are we going to do? How are we going to respond to this? I think the biggest thing is you need to answer, and you need to answer quick.
Looking to respond quickly, the Hawks took a narrow miss on a shot towards deep threat receiver Savion Newton-Clark. Reloading on the next down, Attaway connected with Nolan Yates to open up the Fairhaven defense.
Savion's the big deep threat. I could throw him a good jump ball, and he'd win it 90% of the time. It wasn't a 50-50 ball. And then Nolan, he was the short guy, rack. He would catch it and then run off the catch. And they were both just incredible and improved so much from last season.
The dynamics of the Hawks' drive and the game at large turned just one play later.
Attaway.
Straight up the middle, takes it to the 21. Be 3rd down and 7, gain of 3. And a Fairhaven player slow to get up. Also a Hudson player slow to get up. So both players being tended to down on the field. I think it looks like it might be Jake Attaway. He's down at the 20. And number 25, Justin Marks, also down.
When I first got up, I knew it wasn't like something too serious, and I thought it was just a regular Charlie horse, but I kind of got dead-legged. So when I tried to get up, I wasn't able to at first. And then like one of my teammates tried to pull me up, and I was like, dude, I can't move it right now.
I honestly thought like he was done because he wasn't really moving much. Like Janet was out there, like everybody on the sideline just energy just shifted completely.
Pretty sure I heard Owen say this is going to be interesting.
As soon as it happened, I think I took my glove off because I thought I was going to go in at quarterback.
I wasn't even thinking about going in the game. I was just like, this can't be happening because obviously he's one of the best players in the state. Like, he's the reason we were where we are.
It was Coach Duggan. He was like, Jake's put us on his back this entire year. Now it's time for us to put him on our back.
And Jake Attaway seems to be favoring that right leg. We'll see how that all shakes out. Logan Dome is now going to come in for the Hawks.
When Coach pulled me over and said, like, start getting your arm warm, I was like, oh, guys, this is going to be fun. Like, it was exciting.
I just turned to Logan. I told him to warm up. He kind of looked at me like, you know, why do I need to be throwing right now? But in the back of my mind, I was like, everybody in this place thinks we're going to run the ball. They were playing press man coverage, and I saw an opportunity for Logan to, you know, put the ball in a spot where Savian could make a play. He just, you know, he nodded his head, so let's do it.
I was so nervous. I thought Coach was out of his mind, to be honest.
But then I thought Owen went out there to play quarterback, and I thought we were just going to run the ball, and so did probably everyone else in the stadium.
And I realized it was 3rd down and a little bit to go, so it was a risky play call because I don't think anybody in that stadium was expecting me to throw it. That was my first pass attempt of the season, so.
At first I didn't hear the play call, so I like ran back to Dome to say what the play was, so I made sure it was the right call. And I don't know, it was just crazy. I knew I had to catch this in order to bring the team's momentum up. The corner, he kind of plays a little physical, so I knew if I like just do like a little move and then go to the outside, Dome would throw a good ball.
So Logan Dome thrust into the spotlight now at the 21-yard line. 3rd down and 7. Snap is high, puts it up toward the corner. And Clark with a catch. Turn around, waited for it to come. Touchdown, Hawks, tie it at 6. First play for Logan Dome here at Gillette. Throws a touchdown pass to Savia Newton-Clark.
What the heck just happened? Logan Dome just threw a touchdown pass in Gillette Stadium.
When I first fell to the floor, I thought I wasn't in until I looked at the ref and he just did the signal.
Well, I knew the moment wasn't going to be too big for him. I knew if I gave him an opportunity, he might show us something, he might give us something, and that's exactly what he did.
Me and Joey Farrell went up. I started celebrating with him, and then I started chasing Savian around, and then we obviously had to take a knee. But it was just special. Like, even just all the players started coming up to me and just like congratulating me. It was just a special moment. Like, even Jake, even though he was injured, took time to come up to me and say just like congrats and good job.
I was just super hyped for him. Like, I knew he like was waiting for a moment like that. Maybe not in Gillette, but for him to come in there and do that, like I said, like you probably never would imagine it, and probably you'll never see it again.
Went to celebrate with the Red Sea. I was like kind of waving my hands up and down for them to be loud. It was a great feeling.
And then all I hear is the crowd erupt because I was rolling out my leg. I didn't even see the touchdown. I see everyone celebrating. I just started jumping because I didn't know what I was doing. And I celebrated with Owen originally, and I was like, Owen, let's go. And then he was like, that wasn't me, it was Dome. So I was like, oh shoot. And then the kid was injured, so like I like hurried my way over to Dome quietly and then just started celebrating with him. But it was such a surreal moment for him to come in like that and just throw a touchdown. One play, one touchdown for him. That was insane.
With the state's all-time leading touchdown scorer, Justin Marks, out injured on the same play as Attaway, Fairhaven's offense scrambled to replace their undisputed engine.
Marks he's a talented running back. He's a great kid too. He would help you up after he knocked you down. It just allowed us to be a lot more mobile with our D-line and allowed them to commit more to quarterback because their quarterback was killing us early in the game. So him going down was just like, it wasn't really a switch of game plan, but it was like we had a new key to focus on.
Yeah, so when they can wear you down and eat up clock like that, that can be concerning. That's why you need to get stops and get them quick. But with that style offense and as good of a football team that Fairhaven is, we knew they were going to have some big drives. It was just that bend, don't break mentality from our defense. That's what we asked the guys. You know, they're going to get a few first downs, but can we stop them when it matters?
Another long drive took Fairhaven down to the Hawks' 31-yard line, where they faced a 3rd and 6.
Bought it at the Hudson 36. And Burke brought down Dom Shaves, number 80. It was Damian, number 80, Damian Shaves.
Damian Shaves made some huge plays for us down the stretch, and that was one of his biggest plays of the year.
Damian still's another year, Dom still's 2 years. It's like, it's crazy that they're going to be playing together for another year because the chemistry that they have on that field, like they know where each other is and they know how to play with each other. Just seeing them chase the quarterback every play, you're like, oh, we're in a good spot.
Continuing their aggression on 4th down, the Blue Devils went for it again, but came up short. With plenty of time between offensive drives, a familiar face trotted out to the huddle.
4:11 left to go before the half. Hawks with the 7-6 lead. And Jake Attaway back behind center.
It was still like hurting a little bit, but it was my last game. I wasn't going to watch the rest of the game on the sideline.
As the second quarter winds down, the Hawks drive down the field. Here, sophomore Johnny McPartland makes his mark on the game.
For Attaway. And he's looking left, throws underneath. And it's complete for McPartland. Gets him down to the Fairhaven 44.
I guess on the big screen it showed that that may have been an incorrect call, and the Fairhaven fans, let them hear about it.
Yeah, it's a catch. They had no replay, technically, so once they call it a catch, it's a catch, and if they call it a catch, it's a catch. So we went with it.
With no replay, the Hawks catch a break and move into Fairhaven territory, but face a 4th and 2.
Yeah, so being 4th and short, the goal was to keep the ball in his hands, call the QB ISO. It broke down real quick.
Their D tackle slips immediately. I think Cam tried to get to the backer, which we were supposed to do, but the D tackle made a good play. So he cut me off, and I just was like, oh shoot, 4th down, so I have to get at least a first. So I tried to spin off it.
Attaway spins off one tackle. He's got some room.
And then when I get off the corner, Nolan seals that edge kind of with number 2. And once I got past number 2, there was nobody else.
And he breaks free. Touchdown, Hawks! 42 for Attaway.
That was the most time I think I've ever been after Logan Dome's touchdown, actually. But just to see everyone come down, and it was just so cool.
The second I saw him get around that corner, I was like, he's gone. There's no one's catching him.
That definitely gave us a confidence boost, an energy boost. Just we were up. It was just a nice feeling, knowing that we had some security. We didn't have to worry all that much about defense. If they got a score, it's okay. We were calm at that point.
For him to be able to persevere and just fight like that just shows the kind of player he is and the kind of things he'll do for this team.
Obviously last year we never took a lead like that, and now we were up by a score. You can tell the momentum change that really took place.
With 2 minutes left in the half, Fairhaven was left with an opportunity to cut into the 8-point deficit, but their ground and pound run-heavy offense isn't well equipped to score quickly through the air. After making their way across the 50, Fairhaven's quarterback Cam Burks drops back to pass.
I saw him kind of pass set a little, and I put my hands out, and I saw him run out to the side. And then I got around the edge. I saw the guard peel behind trying to get me, so I kind of peeled again more. And then I see him run out. Toby misses the tackle, and then I come, and then I dove for his legs and got him, and then I flexed, got up, looked at the Jumbotron, and I stuck my tongue out. So
Damian Shave's sack forced Fairhaven to use their final timeout with 42 seconds left. A 3rd and 11 conversion kept the drive alive, but also kept the clock moving. After a short rush, Fairhaven was forced to throw it on 2nd and 7 with just under 20 seconds left.
Once they're down, we knew that they were going to throw the ball. And when they're throwing the ball, they know they're in a bad position. So kind of just we ran like a cover 3. I saw that guy kind of run like a fake out into a post. And so it was my part of the zone. I saw him, and then I tipped it, and Tyrese is everywhere on the field, and I didn't even know he was behind me until I saw him pick it off.
I knew Jake was gonna like get a hand in it because he always does it during practice, so I like trusted him. I saw like it was tipped to me, so I tried to I caught it, and then I tried to run, but I saw I was going out of bounds, so I made sure to get feet in, and then after that I stepped out of bounds, so I threw the ball, and that's when all my team was there for me.
I knew Tyrese was going to make that play because I saw the ball go up in the air, and as soon as it goes in the air, Tyrese is going to go get it.
Sometimes can talk a little bit, but it's funny, and he goes out there and he proves it why he can talk, because he seriously makes incredible plays like that all the time.
I totally thought he was going to drop it because he doesn't have the greatest hands in the world, but he came up with it, so it was crazy.
Hudson runs out the final seconds and takes their 14-6 lead into halftime, a stark contrast from the semifinal matchup a year ago.
The attitude in the locker room was good. Guys go into the game confident. They're still confident in the locker room, but they also know it takes 4 quarters to win a football game.
Our mentality was just that it was 0-0, play like it was 0-0, and do whatever we needed to do to end up with hoisting that trophy.
Just job's not finished. They are a good football team. They could come back. We have to be prepared to for their physicality in the second half and for them to come back and punch us in the face.
As they walked back out of the tunnel, the coaching staff was looking for much of the same in the second half.
Our game plan was to keep doing what we've been doing, and knowing that Fairhaven runs that triple option offense, they're not a pass-heavy team. We were hoping it'll take them some time to score if they do score at all.
The Hawks received the kickoff, but like their first drive of the game, they weren't able to work their way down the field. After a couple incompletions, they were forced to punt. Fairhaven's offense took the field, and like Coach Attaway suspected, their triple option offense was taking a lot of time off the clock. With half the third quarter already gone, the Blue Devils faced a 3rd and 9 on Hudson's 46.
Burke, straight back, got Eby, and another sack. Dom Shaves this time, brother of Damian.
He had a great season for a sophomore. He was Midwatch C and D6 All-Star also. But to play with him was just something special. We haven't done that since 2nd, 3rd grade-ish. So, and it's nice for our parents too, so they don't have to go watch his JV games. But in practice sometimes we fight a lot, but Coach would yell at us for not getting along and stuff, but we talk about football a lot. We like it enough to where we can notice stuff. We're both very instinct first players. He's a good football player. He probably could be better than me, so I don't like to admit that. He could go far, so it's nice.
With the younger Shaves getting in on the action, Fairhaven was forced to punt back to Hudson. The Hawks' ensuing possession began at their own 35, embarking on what some will call the Toby Edie drive.
Toby, he's been doing really well as a running back and catching the ball out of the backfield, but certainly the second half has been pretty solid for Toby. His style of running, I felt like it was a very good fit for our attack against a Fairhaven defense who's pretty physical and fast. I knew Jake wasn't 100%, and I knew Toby was. And so we gave him an opportunity to make some plays, and he did.
Give to Toby Edie. Into the second tier. Out to midfield, across midfield. Use now emotion to give to Edie. Straight ahead to the 43. Flank Attaway. Attaway starts right, looks left, throws underneath. Wide open, Toby Edie at the 20. And forced out of bounds at the 12. And Hawks in the eye. in for the touchdown is Toby Eady.
Toby's a beast. He can do it all. He play defense, play offense. You can put him in any position, and I think he'll be good at it. Toby, just to take over that drive and just rip the hearts out of Fairhaven's defense, basically, was cool to see. I didn't really do much. I just gave him the ball, handed him the ball, and he just took it himself. He wasn't even supposed to have a route on that play. It was waggle right, and he was just supposed to block that left edge. And then I think they rushed someone off that edge, and so I just kind of like put my foot in the ground, I was originally gonna run, but then Toby made like a really smart play, and like sealed off his guy and just ended up leaking out. And I just tossed him the ball, and he took it for 30 yards.
He's coming in here making plays in the state championship, running the football and making tackles all over the place. He's done that all year for us. I think he's definitely grown over the season as well.
I was just like in a dream, like run after run, like catch after catch. I just was so confident in my ability. Like especially after that catch, I was just so hyped. I was definitely nervous, especially like the first couple of runs of the game. But just like extremely like fortunate to have a coach who has that trust in me to get the yards. It was insane. I was just trying to like take in the moment, and I don't even know. It was surreal.
Now with a 2-score advantage, the Hawks felt like they were in the driver's seat. But with over a quarter left of football to play, Fairhaven had plenty of opportunities to get back in the game. The normally slow and methodical offense of the Blue Devils took just 3 minutes to flip the field, moving to a 2nd and 8 on Hudson's 28-yard line.
2nd and long. Oh, they give again to Pickup. Straight through a big hole. Touchdown, Fairhaven.
It happened in an instant. I couldn't get over to the opposite side. I know Owen got double teamed, I'm pretty sure. I think that might have been 44, which is the four down for linebackers. So I don't remember. I couldn't scrape over to the opposite side, and I think he slipped up right up through the middle, and then there was no one in the middle, and he kind of just ran it all the way through. That was terrible to see, just look back and see him right in the end zone.
You know, we had a little slip up there, and they scored a touchdown. Again, that's a good football team. They're in the Super Bowl for a reason, defending state champions.
I was still completely confident in our team's ability because at that point, Marks, their running back, wasn't in. They weren't going to really do much on our offense. And their touchdown was just a simple mistake, and we can correct it easily.
Fairhaven converted the 2-point try and were down just 7 with over 11 minutes left. Hudson was confident their offense could put the game away, but Fairhaven had other plans.
Deep for the Hawks, sets up at his own 14. Look for the low kick. And it's an onside kick. Recovered by Fairhaven at the 50.
So I didn't put my hands team out there, but I did make some personnel changes up front. Put a couple guys that aren't typically on our kick return. I put them out there on that front line just in case they did try something like that.
I knew it was coming. You could tell because they had this one kicker who would kick deep. They had one who would squib it, and the squib one was in. I was like, if he's in, they're just gonna kick it onside. But they kicked it onside. We didn't get it, and we just moved on.
I tell the guys it's not a round ball. It takes funny hops. These things happen in big time games, and actually it made the game that much more exciting.
I don't know if you could see it on film, but I'm pretty sure I've watched it like 15 times. I started like just kind of screaming, not like losing my cool, but I was screaming, like just getting the message in their head that like we need to be aggressive and force the ball back in our offense's hands.
I was extremely confident in just our defense's ability to stop like their entire offense.
It was time once again for the Hawks defense to make some plays and keep Fairhaven from tying the game. 2 plays set up a 3rd and long toss sweep to Ryan LeBlanc with room to run, who nearly converted the first down. Not for the first time, Fairhaven took on a 4th down gambit.
And Jake Attaway just blocked out of the way, couldn't make contact with Senna. And it looks like the 4th down play is going to be short. The near official bringing it in. Looks like it's going to be short. I think we're going to measure this one. See the spot. And it's a turnover on down the Hawks. have survived the onside kick.
I just remember, because early in the game there was a 4th and 1, and I remember Marks jumped over the pile. So I just remember I was like, I'm just going to jump over the pile and see if this kid jumps over the pile. And it was just like they all took a knee, and it was me and the kid, and it was just who's going to win that 1 yard that he needed. And thankfully we won it, and I'm grateful for my D-line because they just took out knees the whole game. And David Rambo got trampled that whole game, and he's my unsung hero. I'm never going to forget that kid. It was just huge. It was an energy shifter. It was like we just went 4 and out with probably an offense that averages 2 first downs a drive.
That was a lights out, like perfect defense by us on that drive because we knew we had to get the ball back.
You know, our defense, they've been doing it all year. We call on them, they answer.
We just trust our keys and trust our coaching staff and the players on the field. And even on the sideline, they pushed us and told us if it was a pass or a run so we could help the linebackers or the defensive backs.
After the turnover on downs, Hudson's offense was back on the field with 9.5 minutes to play.
You just got to start thinking about how much time's left into that final whistle. But you also don't want to slow things down to a point where we're not effective on offense.
So my dad told me, he was like, when the referee puts his hand down, meaning there's 5 seconds left on the play clock, that's when I snapped the ball. So we were just running it, doing what we can to get that time to tick down as much as possible.
Hudson was quickly looking at a 3rd and 16 and turned once again to their deep threat, Savion Newton-Clark.
Shotgun snap for Attaway. Looks to the right, puts it up top. And a flag comes in. Savion Newton-Clark looking for the flag, and he got it.
So in that situation, looking to let Savion make another play on the football. He's had big catches for us all season. Jake put the ball up in a spot where he could go get it. Defensive back didn't know where the football was, didn't turn his head around, and he made contact with Savion.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to get to the ball, so I tried to do something else that would be big for the team.
So to keep the drive going and then waste another 2 or 3 minutes was huge.
Edie rushes it for a yard, and the clock runs down to under 5 minutes. On 2nd and 9, Jake Attaway takes this shot downfield.
Attaway fakes the handoff to Edie, looks downfield. Got him in. Oh. Pass was a little short.
I knew I should have gotten him the ball. I definitely underthrew him, and I was pissed at myself for a little bit, but like I said, it's just moving on to the next play. Damon made great plays all season, and I knew if we got that one back we would have scored, but there was nothing we could do at that moment, so it's just going on to the next play.
It was a little sad. I thought he had that, and then when I saw the ball just barely miss his hands, I was like, damn.
It's part of the game. It was unfortunate. He hits that. I mean, obviously, we're dealing with a different ball game. We're not worrying about, the last few minutes of the football game.
A missed opportunity to score, but more chances to keep the clock running. On 3rd down, Attaway scrambles to make it 4th and 1.
And Attaway with the keeper takes it across the 27 to the 26. It's going to move the chains for the Hawks.
Yeah, so 4th and 1, 4th and 2. I always tell my O-line, I'm confident in just calling a QB sneak, fullback dive. It's just a matter of them firing off the football, getting that good leg drive and owning the line of scrimmage. And so I talked to my center and my 2 guards, and I said, it's up to you guys here. We got 1.5 yards, 2 yards, huge first down. It allowed us to run, another 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes off the clock.
The good field position didn't last for long, as a bad snap recovered by Attaway puts Hudson back at the 44-yard line. After a few short gains, the Hawks once again were forced to navigate a difficult 4th down situation.
Straight back. Still looking downfield. Got time. Heads for the end zone. Intercepted at the goal line by number 4, Evan LaMontagne. 2nd interception of the year for Jake Attaway.
Well, obviously scoring would have been the best possible ending to that, but we knew that we did as best we could to get that clock down to 2 minutes.
Jake turns to me on the sideline and gives me a thumbs up, almost like, we're okay, that worked.
Their offense with 2 minutes down and 80 yards to go was really hard for them, and we knew we had great DBs, great linebackers. They've been making plays all day, and they're going to continue to do so on the last drive.
With the championship on the line, the Hawks defense took the field with a 7-point lead to protect and 2:05 on the clock.
I knew they were going to have to put the ball back in the air. It's just a matter of our guys rallying to it. So if they did catch it, rally to the ball, make the tackle, and then we could move on.
One more stop on this drive and we're state champions is all I was thinking and all I was trying to spread to my teammates.
Keep them in bounds. Let them get as many first downs as they want, just as long as they don't get the score. It doesn't matter.
The Blue Devils were able to convert a first down, but a dwindling clock was not on their side. A pitch to the right set up 2nd and 6 for Fairhaven with less than a minute to go.
Toss to the right. Senna is chased down, slowed down by Edie, and finished off. Damian Shaves.
Yeah, so nothing special was being called. Just telling our guys to play football, be fast and physical. And Damian stepped up huge all season, so we expected nothing less. And again, he makes another big play.
So it was another play where I was a quarterback player on option, and I went to go hit the quarterback. He pitches it. Toby makes it so he was stumbling, and then I just ran over and finished the tackle. So, and then I hit him with the little nonchalant flex.
I remember definitely being pissed at myself for not making the tackle, but seeing Damian get it, it gave me a huge sigh of relief that it wasn't my fault that he got extra yards.
Yeah, I like selling.
Down to 3rd and 9, and with Fairhaven deep in their own territory, the Hawks could sense how close they were to the Aganish Trophy and history.
Broken up is the pass. And Ardowich breaks up the pass. Aaron League, the intended receiver.
He ran a screen to 22 earlier, and if the running back stays in, I'm obviously supposed to open my eyes and just see what I can see. And I saw him come around the field fast, and I saw the quarterback roll, and I was like, they're gonna go 22 because he was their best kid at that time. He was making so many plays. He was huge for them in that game. So I just saw him. I picked him up. I honestly wish I kind of intercepted it. I could have, but I just knocked his hand down. And it was just like a moment where it's 4th and 9, and we were ready for it.
He hit the celebration after that, I think, too. Strapped him up.
I remember just dropping into the coverage. I knew they weren't going to probably throw it to my guy because they sucked at throwing. But I just remember just a huge sigh of relief after that because I knew we basically had it in the bag.
Fairhaven can stop the clock one more time. Hudson out of timeout. 42 seconds left. 4th down and 9.
I saw him, he kind of rolled out left a little to my side, and I jumped, I put my arm up to see if he would throw it, and then he backed up a little. I had him by his horse collar a little, by his shoulders, and I remember kind of falling to the right, and then I hear his jersey rip, and he snuck out, and then I see him sprint out the side.
I was trying to make sure just no one was open. And as I saw Owen get closer to the quarterback so he couldn't scramble, I knew that was locked up. He had to let go of the ball. And when I saw the ball in the air, I was like, this is mine 100%. I'm getting this ball. We're winning the States.
Chased by Damian Shaves. Escapes the first tackle. Here comes Dom Shaves. Misses that tackle. Gets it downfield. Picked off. Garrett Giorgio picks it off on 4th and 9. Garrett Giorgio, just back from injury a couple weeks ago, has picked it off, and I think he sealed this one for the Hawks as they already start to celebrate. The Hawks, 29 seconds left, can just go into victory formation. 33 years since the Hawks were able to win their first Super Bowl.
But I just remember looking over because the quarterback scrambled right at me. I just remember looking over and seeing the ball go up in the air, and I saw Garrett jump in front of it. I was like, and that was it. And it was like I knew he was going to do it because Garrett just makes plays like that.
I saw that crowd, and the first thing I had to do is go run over that crowd who's been supporting us for however long now. I mean, we've been here for 4 years. They've supporting us for 4 years, and I got up, gave that ball to the ref, and threw my hands in the air, and I was just like, wow, we're state champs. It was a surreal feeling.
He landed right in front of me, and I was just screaming in his face, and he screamed in mine, and then he ran past me. I don't even know if he acknowledged that I was there. But you could see him. He was pumping his arms. He was running down. And just to see, like, turn around and see the crowd and everybody that came out to watch us, the players who've worked hard all season for that moment. But just to see him specifically coming back from that MCL sprain and playing his last game ever and making that final play, you couldn't write it up any better.
Part of me starting to get emotional talking about, but for that kid not to be, he wasn't cleared 24 hours before that game, and he was dealing with a knee injury. So for him to just have that opportunity, that kid was not going to let anything deny him. So for him to make that last play, that interception, that's who it needed to happen for. That was a special moment, and I mean, that kid's going to watch that play 20 years from now, and he's going to have the same reaction. The emotions are going to be high, as you can see. But Garrett's always been a special player, so for him to be able to cap it off with that interception and seal the win for us, that was unbelievable. And there was, a lot of the crowd was ridiculous. I couldn't believe just hearing that place erupt the way it is after that play.
I believe I said holy S word, and then I jumped up and down, and I just started running. It was crazy. I just knew the game was over, and I knew that we did it.
But I wanted to hit the Aaron Donald celebration and put the ring on my finger, so I went to the sidelines to do that. And
I ran out to the field and started celebrating. So I didn't know there was still time on the clock.
Damian chased that quarterback around and around the backfield. He just relentless pursuit on that kid. And then Garrett Giorgio, special for him to get that pick after being injured in the Final Four game.
No better kid to be able to make that play than him. Talk about a captain that puts team first. You can probably see it in the videos. Every time I made a play, he was the first one coming up to me, chest bumping me, picking me up. And he does that with everyone too.
This is the moment we all worked for, every day in the summer, even before, and then it was just beautiful.
The first thing I did, after I pumped to the air, I walked over to the doctor who cleared me, the sideline doctor, and I just gave him a hug and said thank you for everything, because obviously without him I wouldn't have been able to play in that game, and to make the game-clinching interception to win the Super Bowl, I couldn't even believe it happened.
On that final play, taking the knee, and then that's when I soaked it all in. I was like, dang, that's it. I was like, we're the state champions.
We could finally flip the switch off. We were done. It was so relieving, and we started lining up after that, show our sportsmanship, and then we knew we could just have fun after that.
I still don't even know how I reacted. Some of the other coaches are jumping up and down, sprinting onto the field, hugging the players up. I think I took a second to kind of this is real, this just happened. You dream of these things, and for it to actually become a reality, it was just unbelievable, especially at Gillette. I just couldn't believe where we were, what was happening.
I was right next to Owen, and we just started crying and we hugged. It was we couldn't believe we actually did it.
We finally did it. We finally put all those ghosts behind us of this team, and we won the state championship.
It was bittersweet, to be honest. It was kind of sad, hugging my brother, because I knew he's so passionate about football, and it's just his last football game ever, and all the captains and seniors, really.
We won 2 champions in the youth, and I thought, a moment like that would never happen again, but when he took over, and then for us to win the state championship on my senior season, and we had a huge hug after he lifted me up, and it was just tears were flying, everything was just it was a great moment. It was emotional, but it was great.
It was a special moment. We squeezed each other tight at that moment, just knowing we could finally celebrate what we've been waiting to celebrate together. It's bittersweet, but there is no better way to go out than that what just happened there. So in the back of my mind, yeah, it's sad that it's ending, but I was just so happy for him, so happy for his teammates. And again, not many teams can go out saying, that they won their last game as a football player.
Zach Alloway hoist the trophy in the air.
The guy handed him the trophy, he lifted it up, and everybody was jumping on it, trying to touch it, kiss it, whatever they could do. I feel like that's like when it was really like, yeah, we did it. We're champions, and all that work just like finally paid off.
It was the best feeling ever. As soon as he raised that trophy, we all just screamed as loud as we could. It was like we were just on top of the world. It was the best feeling ever.
The amount of people that show support and love for our team is crazy, because we show it back to them by working our butts off and getting those wins for the town of Hudson and representing the town of Hudson, because that's what we've always been trying to do since we were in second grade, and we knew once we got here 10 years later, we'd finally get that final result.
Having this town, like the town that I grew up in, the town that raised me, the town that made me who I am, stick behind that team, that's the reason we got so far, because this town's persistent and we're just going to fight for everything.
It really pushed us like to play even harder, knowing that we have the whole town to play for, knowing that they all came in a cold, snowy night to come watch us play. It really pushed us to play a lot harder.
It was incredible. Even people who don't have any relation to Hudson football were just coming out to watch the game because of the atmosphere and just watching us play football. And it was cool to see what we did for the community, but also what the community did for us.
You know, it was good to peek out the window of that booth and see the crowds. You know, they hadn't been that way in 20 years on a normal Friday night. So I think it's great for the town. You know, it's a boost. It's a morale booster for everybody that's, you know, has a connection with Hudson High School.
You know, thousands of people from all over the country are tuning in to watch Hudson High play football. That's pretty cool stuff. You know, these guys feel big time as football players when they hear about that. And then when they have kids at the tunnel waiting for them, walking out, you know, yelling their name, asking for autographs, you know, they're representing the name on their shirt, and it says Hudson, and, you know, they can have personal goals, but at the end of the day, they know they're representing our town and our school, and they got all that community support, so they know to represent it well.
We've been talking about winning state titles since we were freshmen. Like once we were seniors, we always talked about that year. And to cap it off with my guys and knowing I'm never going to play with them, but we went out the right way, it's just special.
Those kids are my best friends, and I'll always have those brothers for life.
It's a dream come true to play, not only to play in Gillette, but to win state champions with your best friends is something special.
Being able to have that all come together in one thing, me and my brother both being on the same team, winning the state championship, perfect season. It's just incredible to think about it now.
The work we put in, the work I saw those guys put in, just the stuff we did on the off season, during the season, just see it all work out and pay off was incredible to see, and I love every one of them, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world.
So proud of these guys. Awesome job. Nothing more to say. Let's go, boys! Let's go! Let's go!
going, Hawks! You guys are boys!
I'm just super proud of these kids. Have a senior myself on the team, seeing these kids grow from second grade. Who knew that the first game in second grade that ended at Gillette Stadium? No better way to do it. Awesome, very proud of them and the coaches.
Hudson!